Hey riders, welcome back to the channel. Colin here, Inside Cycling World. Been a long time, I know. Don't get me started on that, folks. Yeah, been away for a bit, but here we are again, back on MyWhoosh, starting Series 6 of the Veteran Series. So this is an event. Hey, Stephen Ludford's here. Awesome to see. I had no idea who was going to be here today. I only scheduled this yesterday, I believe. Well, I think I might have told James I was going to do it this week. I'm on a day off from my other stuff. I'm kind of all over the place, guys, doing a lot of different coverage, doing lots of different rides. I got to get back riding on MyWhoosh for the season's pass. I've been kind of slacking a little bit on that. Really want to get working on that. Let's just have a quick look, see what we're looking at here. Okay, looking good. Tunes in the mix. Graham Gilbert's back. Yes, Graham, thank you very much. He likes to call me Phil Liggett. You know what's crazy? A couple other dudes called me that before, and I'm like, man, that's probably the best compliment you can ever give me. So good to see you here, Graham. I can see Alistair's in the chute right now, actually. Let me get in there. Ooh, okay, boys, filling it up. So my goal, guys, I know everyone's just coming back. I've been away for a bit. I was doing so many videos. To be honest, I was kind of getting overwhelmed by the amount of videos I was doing. I was missing my riding. Riding 3 different platforms, streaming 3 different platforms. But yeah, this is looking to be a nice turnout here today, riders. Looking good. What I want to say, here's Greg right here. Greg's in the mix. Steve Ludford. I didn't know Steve was going to be here at all. I think I talked to Steve last thing on Tuesday. So yeah, another reason why I've been on the mix too is that Joey Jojo's kidney operation was coming up, and it's been lingering for like a month and a half. She finally had it done on Tuesday, but Monday was a write-off. I was running around, stocked up the house with groceries, and it's everything I do because I live out in the country is a little bit tougher. It's a half hour in each direction. So just to get there, it's an hour gone. Or, hey, the grocery pickup's at noon. Well, that's when I want to stream. Well, not today, you're not. Oh, okay. Well, do you want food or do you want to stream? Well, I want both. I want both, folks. Yeah, I see a lot of familiar names here, folks. Lots of familiar names. Oh, this dude here. Okay, this guy here. Okay, guys, this dude right here, Vincent Trepanier. It's got to be from Eastern Canada. Trepanier sure sounds French to me. Dude, if you ever see this video, I think I rode with you on Zwift yesterday. Positive. So, guys, I am riding Zwift. I am riding Ruby. I am riding MyWhoosh. Why not? Enjoy them all, folks. Paul Poodle's back too. Carlos Morato. Yes, dudes, we're all back. But this dude right here, I did Tour de Zwift, stage, I don't know, whatever it is, stage 4 yesterday. What I really like about the Tour de Zwift is that you've got your A, B, and C. Now, those aren't your race categories. Those are your, like, race lengths, race hardness scale. So this one was just the, I don't know which one, one of the French ones, a couple of nice climbs in there. I rode beside a guy named Trepanier from Canada yesterday for most of that ride. And I think I finished, was I smashing at the front? No. Was I at the back? Absolutely not. Was there 400 riders? Yes, there was. I think I finished in the 50s, something like that. I'd have to go. Actually, I think on Zwift Power they put me 45th, which means a bunch of people don't even sign up for Zwift Power, so they get kicked out of the rankings. JV Dobbin's back too. So let's see who I know. We've got a minute and a half to go, folks. Torsten's here. Okay, Casey Schum's here. Casey Schum, I know who this guy is now. Casey Schum, he's on that podcast. I think it's called the Spincast. 4 dudes, and I know a few of them now. Let me remember the names. Brian Kellison. He kind of, when I watched the podcast last time, he did most of the talking. He's in the top left. Bottom left is, I think his name is Brian White. And he's raced on here before too. Top right would be Lee Savarese. I know he's been riding Ruby some. I'm not sure if he races on here or not. And bottom right was Casey Schum. So yeah, cool to see his name here. Here's James Ogilvie. So yeah, I know James, obviously. He's the creator of OTR Virtual Events. Casey Schum, he's the guy on the Spincast. Torsten, one of my bros. Torsten, you category 4 or 3. I think you're category 4 on Sunday Race Club. Stuart Rowe here. Stephen Elliott. We've seen Stephen before. Andrew Street we've seen as well. Mike Broadbent. I know what I want to do here, folks. I want to get my cameras going. We don't want that on right now. And, okay, so we got that going there. I got to remember how to use my cameras, folks. Oh, there we go. Cameras are working, folks. Cameras are working. Yes, here we go. And we're off, folks. What are we doing today? We got 22.5 kilometers on tap. If you're a climber, I feel bad for you today. This is going to be for either a sprint finish, maybe a breakaway, or maybe we'll have one of the time trialists come on out and show the boys how it's done. That's what I'm thinking might happen today. 22.5 kilometers. I think there's 42, 45 meters of climbing. So this is, I forget the name of it. Maybe I think it's something like El Wabath or something. There's a long version and a short version. The short version just cuts over. You take a left-hand corner at one point. Steve Ludford here in the mix. 3 watts a kilo right now. Get into the draft, boys. Stouffer Morgan. Stouffer Morgan. Stauffer, I should say probably. I'm pretty sure this is a friend of Steve's, I think. Guys, Tim Moore's back too. Tim Moore in the mix. Hey, Tim, thank you again for your support of the channel. I'm not sure if I've done a coffee chat since you contributed to the channel. And guys, that's how I'm promoting it now. I've got to buy me a coffee page. If you like race commentary and you want me to keep cranking it out as much as I possibly can, jump on board and support the channel that way. Let's have a good look at the dudes here. Spin this camera around, folks. Love it. Look at this. Wow, we've got a separation already. Separation already, folks. Let's just zoom her down a bit. And again, MyWhoosh, what I need you to do, I need you to take this, not that I don't want to watch Tim Moore. I want this watching Tim Moore moved up. So, we all know, guys, this is the reality. The community loves race coverage, race commentary. They absolutely deserve it. So let's make it as good as we can. We just need that little thing moved up a little bit. So we got a nice big group at the front here. I can see Alistair's here right now. Tony Martin Lake, Stephen Ludford's in the mix here. Carlos Morato, he's always there. Joel Noguera, another one of my bros right here from Canada. Alistair Gilbert's there. James should be right in the front here. Marcus Lehman's there. Wow, we got a nice group here. Nice group, guys. Looks like at least 20 riders in the front. 21. I think we got 22 here. Doesn't surprise me that Casey Schum's there. Does not surprise me at all. Yeah, so I actually started watching the Spincast a little bit. It's kind of like a good roundup show of all the platforms they're riding, stuff like that. I think with Lee there, pretty sure Lee's Canadian. Yeah, he is Canadian. I think he's on Vancouver Island. Shout out Lee. Beautiful part of the world. And this is when I always say, people say to me, what island? I meet so many people in North America. Well, okay, Americans. What island? You know that gigantic island? It's the biggest island. It's right there. Yeah, it's huge. So that's where Victoria is, capital of British Columbia. So that's where Lee hangs out. Let's just spin this camera in here, folks. Have a good look at the riders here. Moving along nicely, aren't they? Thought I saw one rider zip off the front. Yeah, there's a rider just hanging off the front here right now. Let's start bouncing our way back. We're going to zoom out a little bit. Let's just back this camera. Ooh, someone's bridging across right now. Someone just bridged across. Who was that? I think we had 22 there. The front. Sometimes I wish I could just lock the leaderboard in place too. Andrew Street's there. I wonder who that was. Paul Poodle maybe? Did he come across there? Guys are pushing nice right now, like 4 watts a kilo, 5 watts a kilo plus. Kind of going up this little grade here, folks. What we're going to do now is bounce back 4 seconds to Rafael Martino. Riding solo, another 5 back to Romek Zav. Wesley Briasseau. Here's that dude I saw yesterday. Wonder if he got caught out a little bit. These guys are working pretty hard here too. We got Andy Halston, Andy Hollick, and Vincent Trepanier. I'm convinced this is the same guy. So those 3 are there together. Shane Blackmore a little bit further back with Ambrosio Ortez Marquez. Then we got Salvatore Gallo, Stephen Elliott, Stephen Blackwell. And look at this. These guys are all really close together. These guys could easily come back together. Very easy. Look at Stephen here. Arnold van der Roost, Belgian. Adam R. Sean MCD. Wow, here's Hutch. New Brunswick, Canada. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Brian Abbott. Oscar. Wow, guys. 41. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with this, guys. Actually, I saw 41. It looks like we're down to 40. Someone must have just pulled out. Probably in the start chute. We're only doing a 1 lap today, folks. Let's move our way back up here. Andy Halston here. Vincent's in the mix there. So I remember yesterday, me and Vincent, we rode along probably 3 watts per kilo average all the way. Over about a 25, 26 kilometer course. Actually, it might have been more than that. It's one of those whiff courses where, like, I swear the lead-in was longer than the actual route. And there was a good chunk of climbing, too. I was surprised. Wesley here, pushing ahead. Let's move up. Should be 23 riders in that front group. 20, no, there's not. How about this dude here? Filso Actif Naturfer something or other. Peterson. Dude, we're calling you Peterson. That's all we're calling you. Andrew Street here. Let's spin the camera around a little bit. Gonna do a little zoom out here. Let's raise her up a bit too. I can see the front group now. There they are. Check the camera out here, folks. Looking sharp, boys. Looking sharp. Steve, looking good, dude. Looking good. So yeah, for my friends, Steve specifically, I missed last Tuesday's Muckers ride only because I was at the hospital. Me and Joey left here like at 6 a.m. We had to be there by 8, so we wanted to make sure we were on time. And it's a drive into the city. Then it was basically waiting for 2 hours. Joey getting prepped, IV'd, all that stuff. And then for like 3.5 hours, I went and sat in a Walmart parking lot. That was my excitement that day. I thought, well, I'm starving. I got to go eat something. I need some supplies at home. Came back. Joey was out. She was in absolute agony. So we find out later. So Joey had a kidney stone that was so massive in her. There's impossible to pass. The dude said it's so dense too, impossible to break down. Because even if they break it down, then you got to pass it. It might be one stone that's an inch wide that breaks into, so an inch is 25.4 mils. A big stone is considered 5 to 6 mils. This thing was like over 20 mils. So it was big. So it would have broken down into other huge chunks. So they said, we got to cut this baby out. Well, then she finds out when she's done, she now has a 12-inch long mesh tubing inside of her to keep things open and flowing. And that is supposed to be like very painful. I'll take her word for it. I don't want to know. Let's have a little zoom in here on the characters. See what they're getting up to. Kitty cat's crying outside. You might be able to hear him. So we're down to 18 riders here in the front. Alistair is just sitting on the back right now, hanging in there strong. Last time I think I saw Alistair, actually I think the last time I saw him he might have been on the Fridays. He got punted out of the 3 watt per kilo group. He was too strong for it, so good to see him up here. Zooming back out, folks. Zooming back out. Okay, someone's going off the front right now. Someone's decided to push a little bit here. Let's have a little look at this. Who is this? Oh, sorry about that, guys. Getting a little bit camera crazy here. I better get my camera skills back into place, folks, because tomorrow, guess what I'm doing? Oh, maybe you know, maybe you don't. Tomorrow I'm doing USA Esports National Championships. That's right, folks. So Remember all that echelon stuff I was doing on MyWhoosh? Those 6 weeks over Christmas time where I stepped in and said, man, I can do this. No problem. Where I covered all the B and C categories. Anyone that raced in those events, that's how they qualified for nationals. And so it's national weekend coming up. So unfortunately, I'm not allowed to do the elites. I guess that's being covered by someone else. Whatever. And but I could do it, folks. I could do it. You know I can. I'm capable. But I really enjoy covering the B and C, the community racers. The elites are the elites. We get it. They're the best. I have a lot of respect for these dudes here. I'm not saying I don't respect the elite racers. I'm just saying those guys are just, and ladies, are so good. That's their full-time job. Most of these people you're watching here, they've already been to work today. Or they're going to work later. Or something like that. And they got to put in serious, they're putting in serious time on the bike, doing the best they can. Kind of makes me feel like, yeah, they're more like me. They're not superhumans. That's just the reality, folks. So that's why I always cover community racing. I've been doing it over on Ruby forever now, it seems like. And I guess, I've been doing it on MyWhoosh for 3 months now. Yesterday, I started my first ever time trial stuff over on Zwift, actually. Wanted to get some practice in there, and just because I've been Zwifting a little bit more. Zwift has got a lot of... I guess Zwift for me is the comfort factor. Does it have the beautiful graphics of this? No. But I now look at Zwift as it's more of like an artsy style. It's that way on purpose. It's kind of like when you look at certain art and they purposely make it look more simple. That's the best way I can describe it. The one thing I can say, and people could say what they want about it, it's got the numbers. So that time trial yesterday had, I think, 615 teams in it. Just gigantic, like running around the clock. So really cool to see that. Great participation. And I'm seeing some of the MyWhoosh guys over there too. So that's really cool to see. And they're like, holy man, I didn't know you were doing this. I'm like, I'm here, man. I'm here. Okay, so this is our front group here. We're on Torsten right now. Torsten, James Ogilvy. The kitty's kind of crazy today. Guys, we're going into a deep freeze here. I don't have my phone handy. Where did it go? It's over there. We're only at about minus 10 Celsius today, which is, for my American friends, that's probably about 10 or 15 Fahrenheit, I think. Sunday, the daytime high is minus 22 Celsius. That's probably minus 6, minus 7 Fahrenheit. Down to minus 30 at night. I'm not looking forward to it. The firewood people said they're coming, but they tell me this every day they were supposed to be here like 3 days ago on Tuesday when I was going to be at the hospital, because I told her, I said, look, I may not be there, just dump the wood. I'll transfer you some cash later. Torsten's going off the front here. James is reacting. James is getting on his wheel right now. Torsten just put in a nice dig. He's probably capable of 5-6 watt per kilo digs all day long. James jumps up. See what this is going to do to the group here, folks. Let's have a look. Separation forming now. Looks like they'll come back, but this is going to hurt a couple guys sitting on the back, isn't it? They may not be dropped yet, but it might happen soon. Who's the redhead coming up here? Who is this redheaded avatar here? Okay, I can see there's one rider off the back pushing really hard trying to get back on. Who is at the back? Alistair? No, it's not Alistair. Alistair is back. Okay, that was Paul Poodle, I think, coming back on. So maybe it was Stouffer. Not too sure. Looks like Alistair is 28 seconds back with Stephen Ludford. Alistair, Stephen, you guys are both in good company here with each other. Alistair, hang on with Stephen here. I know Steve very well. I've probably been covering race commentary for Steve and the Muckers Worldwide group on Ruby now for at least a year. Yeah, it's probably a year right now. Let's bounce to the front. So I got really serious about my race coverage. Well, I would have been sooner than that. Actually, you know what's funny? I look back through all my videos. I don't know why. It's not like I watch them. I rarely watch my own videos. And I think I did my first race commentary ever. I think it was March, maybe April of 2023. But back then I was doing like one video per month. I just didn't really know what I was doing. How do I do this? I got to figure this out. Little sip of the mug root beer here, folks. Then I think it was later in October, started getting more serious, started doing GRC stuff. And then one day I said, that's it. I'm doing all these Muckers events. And I think it was during Tour Down Under. So Ruby's really good for challenges that way. They had a series, I think it would have been 6, maybe only 4 to 6 video routes of the Tour Down Under happening as there and abouts as the same as the World Tour race, first World Tour race of the year, the Tour Down Under. And so that's kind of where I got my racing like serious, where the muckers kind of were like, well, who's this guy? Like, where'd he come from? Okay, that flowery jersey again, is that Torsten again? I was gonna say, I thought it was a flowery jersey last time. So Torsten rocks the flowery jersey, folks. I remember the detail, folks. I remember the details. So we're doing this today. After this, I'm gonna probably just do a short route. You know what I was gonna do? Well, let's just back it up a little bit, folks. You know what I need to do too? Sorry. I need to make sure. Oh, yeah. Just want to see how good I look today. And by good, I mean just average. I just checked to see what things look like, what you're seeing. I was going to ride Hudariot Dust Road, whatever it's called. Why? I'm not sure if I've done it yet because, anyways, that's the event for USA Nationals tomorrow. And I'm like, I need to do some a recon of the routes. Well, that world's not available today, so I don't get to ride it. Which is unfortunate. Maybe it's not because it looks like a tough route. I think each lap is only sub 11 kilometers. But there's I think I saw it was 170 meters per lap. So there's a good chunk of climbing. Torsten grinding it out again. He's just going to keep putting his attacks in, thinning the crowd out here. Tim Moore, strong. Not sure who Matthew Hargreaves is, but he's hanging in there very nice. Look at this. Michael Simoniuk is jumping across. Wouldn't be surprised if Tim does as well. Joel's going too. Joel, Torsten, both SRC riders. They're used to the racing, folks. Used to the racing. Casey Schum should do quite well here too. I think Casey's got a pretty long career riding and racing on Zwift. So I have seen Casey before. Casey, I really hope you see this. I think there was one of the elimination races at the Velodrome. I think you and Brian White were in it together. I think so. And that makes sense because you guys were both in that podcast together. So Brian, Lee, Casey. Check it out, folks. Give them some support. Yeah, like I said, I just caught my first episode yesterday. I think it's the Spincast, and I've looked for it a few times. Like on a Saturday, Sunday when I'm not streaming, when I'm not riding, when I'm not racing. I've looked. I'm like, what's it called again? Spinnycast? Yeah, it just took me a while to find it. Spincast, guys. Good overview, and I know Brian Kellison's in there. He's racing. He'll be racing Masters this weekend, so he'll be on that Hudariot Dust course. And I think what they've done too is, so again, guys, I'll be covering the age categories. I don't get to do the elite stuff, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. You want me to do elite? No problems. We are in the pipe, 5x5. So I'll have a lot to cover there. I think they've compressed it all down into different jerseys riding at the same time because, realistically, there wasn't a huge turnout this year. So I think the echelon races I did might actually be bigger competitor-wise than the Nationals. We're going to see tomorrow. So I'm doing all those. And then the following weekend, yeah boy, right here, Team Canada, the Canadian Federation, whatever they're called, just didn't have it in the budget this year to pay for the other broadcasters, so they called in the big hitter. That's right, they called me in and said, Colin, can you do it? And I said, dude, bro, of course I can. Just let me step right in and I'll cover it. So February 8th, 9th, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm doing the whole shebang. I'm parking my life, setting it aside, put it in my back pocket for a little bit, and We're 12.6 Ks in now, folks. Just a little bit over halfway. You see here, it's really flat, eh? Nice and flat. Spin around and see if we can see anyone that's just dangling back there a little bit. Yep, there's one rider dangling back there with the glowy wheels. Who would that be? Looks like that might be... Was that James there? It is James. It's James and... Is that James? Yeah, it is. And Stewart. James and Stewart are here. Then it's a further minute back to Raphael. Ooh, Raphael's got a nice little group here. So what I like about this, I like when things kind of blow apart. You get into your own race categories, your own power categories. Remember, folks, this is the Veteran Series, OTR event. You'll see the name on the side of the road, Veteran Series right there. This will all be classified by age categorizations. What those are at the moment, I don't know. But they're probably the standard age categorizations. I like to think I'm young. I'm in the 30 and under category. So I don't even think about stuff like that yet. I don't think about being old. Okay, let's bounce up to James here. So we got James up here with Stewart. These two should work well together. Okay, look at them here. 4 watts on the front. James around 3.5. Looking good. Then we're bouncing to the front group. So got 14 in that front group here. So guys, I really want to see community racing grow. Really want to see it. And, you know, so MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, you got it. You got that figured out. The live workouts, which I absolutely love, but asterisks, but I don't do a lot of them. I want to be involved in community racing, so I would love to see some resources and power put into community racing, because that's where I think the majority of the people are. It's community racing. What did I hear last weekend? I think it was, in Sunday Race Club last weekend, I think there was 360 riders in total. And to me, it seems like a lot of resources, a lot of horsepower, a lot of dollar bills are put into Sunday Race Club, SRC Sunday Race Club for 365 riders. I get it. That's the flagship. I get it. I don't want to sound like I'm knocking people, but this is where I can see room for huge growth, huge improvement, is the community events. Torsten, Mr. Flowers, going to the front. He's going to love that. He's going to absolutely love that, folks. The majority of your users, and having said that, some of those guys are here. Like, I love when I see the SRC guys come over here and race. Who is off the front here? Let's check this dude out. Who is it? Casey Schoom sitting in the pack. Tim Moore. This doesn't surprise me at all. Does not surprise me. I think Tim is a bit more of a time trialist. And again, Tim is a supporter of the channel, folks. Through Buy Me a Coffee, I always tell people, okay, so that's a big group chasing after me here. I think Tim's going to chill out now. It's a little bit too far at this point. He's just testing the waters too. Just testing the waters. Let's bring that camera down, get a better look here. They're going to come back on him now. Just to see who's got what left in the legs. Are there any pretenders in this group? I don't think there are. I think these guys are all pretty legit. Okay, so Greg should have... Yeah, there's Greg. Greg has the platinum blonde hair here. He's with the red jersey, black shorts, bibs, I'm assuming. I don't wear shorts. There's no way. Bibs only. Bib shorts only, folks. Ooh, everyone's digging in now here, folks. Get a little bit of a bump here. This is a good attack point. And you can see how quickly the separation starts. Gaps start opening up, and if you lose a wheel, we lost a rider already. We have lost a rider right there. Who was that? Wow, that happened quick. It's not Paul. Stouffer's still there. Marcus Lehman just fell out the back. That quick. Probably just a little bit of inattention because I've watched Marcus a lot. This German rider here, strong rider. You can see he's still riding strong, but that attack caught him off guard. And look at the gap. The gaps happen, folks. Marcus Lehman, totally capable of riding with the group up ahead here. Those are the kinds of things that happen. Just a second of inattention. Let's bounce up to Stouffer here. So, yeah, pretty sure Stouffer is one of Steve Ludford's friends. Positive. Paul Poodle's there. That's another guy I know from Ruby. We got Thomas here, Humeni. Matthew Hargraves. Looks like there's some accelerations at the front again. There is accelerations at the front. Tony Martin Lake, and now there's a... Okay, it's Matthew. Matthew Hargraves. There's a bit of a gap. It's jumping up to... I was going to say Joel. I know Joel's going to be in the group. I know Casey's there. Torsten's there. Greg. These guys all make sense. Thomas is trying to get across now. This is one of those gut check times. It's like, go now, 5-6 watts per kilo, or just stay in the back. Come on, Thomas, let's go, dude. Let's go. Keep grinding. They've actually let off quite a bit. They're just trying to wear the other guys out. No one up front is really destroying themselves right now. We've got 2.7 here, 3.3, 4. This is all within these guys' limits. In fact, for some of these guys, I think this is pretty chill. Like, I would just be dead up here. Like, absolutely. Like, if I go for a cruise, you know, I think yesterday my average was 2.9 watts per kilo. That's what I did. And you know, at times I was working pretty hard. Got a new heart rate monitor. I got one of those rechargeable ones because I'm like, I don't feel like spending 10, 12 bucks for batteries. The batteries die when they're really close to being done. They start doing weird things. You'll jump into an event and your heart rate will be at 130 the whole way. And everyone's like, oh, this guy's cheating. He's on an e-bike. No, my heart rate monitor just died. I've seen that happen to people before. Just remember that, folks. Stuff like that happens. It was happening to me on mine. I'm doing rides. I'm working hard. My heart's at 150. No way. When I'm working hard, my heart rate's above 175, 180. So this new heart rate monitor I bought, a little Amazon jobby here. I actually really like it. It flashes a little light to show your heart rate. And so it's got an alarm at 180. I'm like, and it goes off and on every time it goes above. So you start resting, you get to the 170s, it'll bang again. So yeah, I learned how to disable it this morning. Carlos Morato has just been hiding away here. And he hasn't been doing that on purpose. He's just been sitting in the pack, taking his time. Liking this, folks. Let's have a quick peek again, a quick overview again. So we got 11 in our front group. Bouncing back to Marcus Lehman is with Paul Poodle now. Marcus just grinding here. Paul's trying to get on his wheel. He's on his wheel now. Paul's probably pretty happy to be on this wheel. It's only 4-second gap, but we've got less than 5 kilometers to go. We're going to bounce back to Mike Broadbent. Here's a new rider for me. Don't think I've seen this guy before. Stuart Rowe. James was with him before. James is still with him. So James rides these glowy wheels. I have to remember that. Ian Milligan. Nice group here. Steve Ludford's in this group. JV Dobbin. Here's my friend that I met yesterday, Vincent Trepanier. Vincent, if you ever see the video, if you're new, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Guys, just so you know, my thoughts, good or bad, whatever you want to consider, just let me know in the comments what you guys think. I find MyWhoosh to be the heaviest. By that I mean 2% on MyWhoosh feels really hard. I don't know why. Okay, we got an attack at the front here. It's Torsten again. Flowers. Michael follows. Greg follows. Greg's over here, red jersey, white hair. Joel Noguera rocking the, let's call it magenta. Let's not call it pink, although it looks pinky. Carlos in 5th place. Let me check the chat here. Yeah, so I find MyWhoosh to be the hardest for me to ride. Graham's not riding due to illness, so hopefully back next week. Looking forward to seeing Graham. Back in Alistair all the way. Steve's back in the other group there. I think I just covered him, Ruben. But I'm pretty sure Stouffer Morgan, pretty sure Steve told me this is one of his buddies who rides with the Farnham Race Club. So Steve is part of the Farnham, how would you spell it? Farnham. It's a very old club. I think they're over 120 something years old, maybe even older. First club Steve ever joined. And a lot of those guys race on with the Muckers, primarily on the Tuesdays. They have like an inter-club event, and they host it at the Muckers Tuesday race. So every week I get a spreadsheet from Steve saying, hey man, here's all the standings. Can you talk about it a little bit? I usually talk about that stuff on the Thursday event. Steve's usually in there too. And their rule is what they have. I think this is pretty cool. Because in the UK, because realistically, you probably could ride outside almost every day of the year if you wanted to. If you wanted to be wet, that's cool. Are you going to ride outside at minus 30 like I have to? No. That's why I don't do it. Only when I was young and dumb in university did I do that. So some of those riders are mostly outside. They only jump into the Tuesday race. They don't have the good equipment. On Rouvy, all the bikes and wheel sets make a difference. A big difference too. So with the Farnham Club on Rouvy, they all ride the standard Rouvy bike. Kind of like the 2-weight, 2 aero bike. Just to keep it fair and square. Because Steve is so much higher level, he would have the best bike. And they would be riding like, a 20-pound bike. Apparently on MyWhoosh, they've made the differences like just negligible. Torsen off the front again. Guys, I've been stammering and stuttering over my words the last few days. Hopefully I get this back together. Yesterday I was struggling with TTT, Team Time Trial. I kept switching the words around. I'm honest, folks. I think I was tired by the second one I did yesterday, so I did 2 of them yesterday. Tim Moore there, Joel Noguera. Yeah, so good to see these guys here. So I know Torsen, Sunday Race Club. Joel Noguera, Sunday Race Club. I think Greg is too. Tim Moore could easily be Sunday Race Club. Carlos Morato, he must be. Like, he must race in Sunday Race Club. If he doesn't, he easily could too. So I think Torsen's category 4, Joel's category 4. But yeah, you guys out here, you guys in this front group here, let me know in the comments later or send me a message. Does 2-3% on MyWhoosh feel like 2-3% on Zwift? Or if you've ridden Rouvy? To me, it feels the hardest on MyWhoosh. And I ride all my gear at 100% difficulty level or realism, whatever you want to call it. Now, I know there's 2 sliders in MyWhoosh. There's a realism and a difficulty one. So my realism is always 100%. I don't want to be faking it up a hill. If I can't ride up it, then I can't ride up it. That's the reality. Moving along here, folks. So yeah, after this, I'm jumping on the bike. Got to do it. Got to do it, folks. How's our group looking now? 7 riders, folks. Matthew Hargreaves just fallen out. He's not that far behind, though. But that kind of gap, those kind of riders, that's not coming back. Not coming back. We've only got 900 meters to go here, riders. I'm watching that really closely. Prepare for sprint bombs, folks. Prepare for sprint bombs. Gonna do a little zoom out here. Torsen's already on the front. Already on the front. 800 meters to go. Trying to see the finish line. We're going to be taking a left-hand corner up ahead. And I'm looking at the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner to see if I can see the arches. I'm not really sure where the finish line is on this one. We're going to find out together. And it's being lit up here, folks. It's being lit up. Riders going now. Torsen jumping out. Tim Moore trying to go from 600 meters out. There's the finish line right there, folks. Right ahead of us. There's going to be a right-hand corner on the side of the road. The finish line is directly after that. Ooh, Tim Moore pushing hard here. Look at Tim. But he's got riders driving. He's got Greg right on his tail here, folks. Here's that right-hand corner. The finish line is up ahead. You can see it now. There's the finish line. That chute right there. Kind of the dark green color. Let me move up here. Let's get moved up. We got Michael going now. Michael pushing hard. Joel coming up 13 watts per kilo, folks. Joel looking so good in the pink gear. Joel gets, I think Greg got second there. Michael will get third. Torsten ends up in 4th place. Great job, guys. Awesome job here. Let's just check the stats. Let me just move my face if I have to. Move me over a little bit here. We're good. So yeah, Joel. Actually, let me just take a look at this here. Yeah, Joel Noguera in first. Like I said, looking so good in the pink. Greg second. Michael third. Torsten 4th. I'm going to back up, folks, because here we go. Here we go. We've got Paul Poodle and Marcus. Oh, Marcus coming in next. Paul Poodle right behind him. That's what's going on there, folks. So that'll be for 8th and 9th place. Thomas Humeni coming next. Let me just back this camera out a little bit. Again, I'd love to see that watching Thomas Humeni moved up a little bit. That'd be really good. Spin this camera around. Mike Broadbent finishing solo here. Casey Schum's only 8 seconds back in 11th place. You can just see Casey in the distance there. There he is. That's Casey. Let's just zoom in now. So Tomas is through the finish line. Okay, I should get back with Casey here. I see what it did there. Casey's just chilling out now. Coming up to the finish. Crosses the finish line in 11th, 12th. Oh, sorry. Some riders have already dropped. He'll be in 13th place. Don't get confused with the numbers on the right side and the left side, folks. I think Stuart Rowe just finished as well. James Ogilvy's in. James must have just crossed the finish line. Yeah, James is across the line there. Probably thankful that's over. Stouffer Morgan. Let's have a look at this dude here. Pretty sure he's a Farnham rider. And there's the finish line right there, folks. I guess it's kind of like a double finish line, isn't it? I could see that being confusing to people. Is it the first one or is it the second one? I think it's the first one. That's my guess. Rafael Martino here. Finishing nice, 4 watts a kilo. Yeah, there is a line across the road, so it's this first one here. That's the finish line right there. Ian Milligan coming in next. Being pursued by Filso. Pushing 4 watts a kilo. Stephen Ludford, 6 watts a kilo here. Alistair Gilbert drops 8 watts a kilo, folks. Come on, Alistair. Let's go. Passes Stephen. Almost catches Filso. Nice little sprint battle there, boys. Nice sprint battle. I like that one. That's a good one there. Really good stuff there. Okay, I'm going to just jump for a second here, guys. Hey, Graham. What'd you think of the Big Bros sprint finish there? I like that. Passed a couple guys in the finishing chute there. Torsen riding very defensive today, he says. Okay, so JV Dobbins coming in next. He will be in for, looks like 23rd place, I believe. Anyone else finish before him? I think Filso finished before him. I'm positive Filso finished as well. Just looking at the leaderboard. No, JV Dobbins. So where did Filso go? Oh, Filso is just... That's really weird. Okay, I'll have to just take it for what it is right now. Oh, Filso was 19th. Okay, so he finished ahead of those riders. Okay, sorry about that. Just the way they're appearing here. So we got Wesley Braceo coming in from Brazil. Again, finishing nicely. Riding solo here, folks. I mean, Romex behind him. Wesley's just keeping the power up all the way. 5.5 up to 6 watts per kilo. No one's coasting here at the finish, folks. Romek coming in next. Looks like they'll be probably 25th place, I believe. After Wesley gets accounted here on the leaderboard. Yep, Wesley's 24th. Andy Hallstein. Coming in with Vincent Trepanier. I wonder if this is the same dude. I gotta find this guy on Strava and ask him. Looking good, dude. Looking good. Yeah, I mean, me and him were in the pack all day. You know what it is. Like, everyone busts into their big packs. And I was anywhere from 45th to 65th, something like that, all day long. Downhills, I'm right on the front. That's one thing I do really like about that is if you are a heavier rider on Zwift anyways, yeah, going down hills. If you're a light rider going down hills, you better pay attention because you're getting dropped. Vincent finishing here. Be really cool to know if that's him. I don't think that's a name you see very often, Trepanier. At least I don't see it. And he's also Canadian, just like the guy yesterday. Looking good. He's rocking the kind of the look, the La Vie Claire vintage look there. He'll be getting 27th place. Ooh, Ambrosio back here. Ambrosio, he was just sprinting ahead of Salvatore Gallo. So I think Ambrosio just caught Salvatore Gallo at the finish line. Hugo is coming in next. He should be just coming up to the finish. There's the finish line. He's only got a 1 second lead over Andy here. I think that's a big enough gap, though. It's out to 2 seconds now. Again, folks, community racing, these guys are pushing 7 watts a kilo at the end of the event. Let's promote this, guys. Let's put some resources into this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Trust me. Trust me. So Hugo crosses the line. Andy comes in next. They had their sprint battle, both pushing 6.5, 7 watts a kilo. Great job, dudes. Great job. Back here, we've got Shane Blackmore. Still 600 meters finish. He'll see the finishing chute right around this corner here. Take a look. Right now, there it is. Straight down that road. Arnaud van der Roost is not that far behind, though. 8-second gap. That's a pretty big gap, though. Down to 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Both pushing 3.5 watts per kilo now. So, that's correlating to 270, over 400 watts here for Arnaud now. He's chasing hard now. He's got the bit between the teeth, folks. Just going to finish strong. There's really no chance he's going to catch him. Shane's doing enough work. He's actually working a bit harder than Arnaud is now. So here's Shane coming to the finish. Arnaud will be next. So they're going to be 32nd and 33rd place. And again, guys, having 40 riders turn up, that's great. So we got 40 riders into the mix of the next series right away. Yep, that will be 31st and 32nd. Here comes Stephen Elliott. Really well, the group's really good today. Seeing a lot of riders finishing very close together. It's not like it's complete, one group finishes and then it's 15 minutes to the next guy at the back. Seems like maybe we're getting more similar type riders together. I mean, obviously there's going to be a difference, folks. And that's what you need to remember too. This is the veteran series, so we could have huge differences in ages, things like that, right? And of course, riding level. I'm one of them, folks. I feel fine saying that. Some guys are good riding 5-6 watts a kilo. I'm more like 3 to 4, averaging around 3 at the end with the downhills and all that kind of good stuff. And that's the way it is. But man, I love commentating too. So we've got, so Stephen Elliott's done. Stephen Blackwell coming in. Been following Stephen Blackwell for quite a while. He's pretty active on MyWhoosh. Adam R here, Australian. Again, riding nice. Riding really nice to the finish. Hutch is with Brian Abbott here. Okay. So we've got our East Coaster Hutch, YQM Robinson. Hutch, what does YQM stand for? His wife comes on, I think his wife's name is Jennifer. She drops into the chat. So James is saying 17 minutes hanging tough in the front group and then gadoosh, he popped off the back. Exactly, James. James is thanking Stuart Rowe here for sharing the workload because those two were together all the way. Torsen saying 1v12 popping people one by one. Nobody wanted to go with him. Yeah, he just kept putting in repeated attacks, repeat attack, and people were just falling off the back. Little war of attrition. Check these riders out here, both on the same bike. Again, at this point, bikes don't apparently have any difference. And I think I've talked about that before. That's probably because, this is my guess, and I don't know, guys. What do I know? Probably for Sunday Race Club, they wanted to make sure that everyone was playing on a level playing field with the same bikes. They didn't want someone who's been on MyWhoosh since, 2021 when they started, or 2020, who's got the fastest, slickest bike with the best wheels, going up against, someone that's very, very high caliber, but on a junky bike. I get that, but that's the whole point of it, isn't it? You ride the platform, you earn the bikes, but I guess you're also trying to attract the quality racers too. So if someone shows up and finds out they're going to be riding on a bike that's 4 kilograms heavier than the next one, that they're at a distinct aero disadvantage, it's going to be like, well, dude, that's not fair. Like, I wouldn't ride a bike like that in real life. Yeah, okay, true. So we got Brian Abbott and Hutch coming in together here. See what these two are going to do. Is it going to be friendly, or is it going to be a little bit of a sprint battle? Looks like one rider, they're basically sitting on top of each other right now. Okay, there they are. Yep, merging together again. Here we go. Hutch is going for it, folks. Hutch drops 5 watts a kilo. Brian's reacting, though. Brian is reacting. And Brian's got the draft on him right now. Hutch, you're really going to have to hold it hard now. Keep holding. Hold the line. Hold the line, Hutch. Let's go, dude. Come on, Brian. Let's get it. Guys, photo finish coming up here. Check this out, folks. I think Brian Abbott just got it by like half a wheel length. Guys, see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? These guys are fighting just as hard as the very best racers are. It's just at a different level. It's just at a different level. Those two, I mean, look at it now. 0 watts per kilo. Those guys are absolutely done. Sean coming in next, but take a look at Brian Abbott here. He's not even trying to turn the wheels. He's just dead right now. Same with Hutch. Great job, guys. Great job. That's what I want to show off to people on here. It's about your community. It's about the community events. Let's grow them, folks. Let's grow them. I think that was our final finisher. So Sean finishes in 39th place. I think we started with 41. One guy left right away. Probably like, okay, this isn't for me. I think we lost someone along the way. I don't see anyone else out there that's going to finish because everyone I see on the list here now has already finished. So let's just go back through it here. Joel Noguera, decked out in pink, on the pink frame bike, takes first place. Big Greg gets second. Very, very close here. I mean, look at the times, guys. These 4 riders are all within the same second of each other. Oof. Yeah, like half a second. 21.2 out to 21.7 between Joel, Greg, Michael, and Torsten. Torsten put in a lot of attacks there today. Maybe a couple too many attacks. Maybe he just didn't have it. But, guys, half a second between those top 4. Tony Martin Lake in 5th. Carlos Morato. And again, these guys are all right too. Like, they're all within a second. Tim Moore. That was our front group. Front group of 7 there. It looks like all covered within 1.5 seconds. And it was Tim Moore that took the flyer at 600 meters out trying to get away. So you can see why Tim's just on the back group. He took the gamble and went for it. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for him this time. Next time, Tim, let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, we're going to jump into the chat, folks, see what's going on here. James saying level playing field is always best. You got that right. And yeah, thanks, James. Love doing the commentary. Let's grow it, guys. Let's get MyWhoosh to pay attention. MyWhoosh, powers that be. If I had my phone in my hand, I'd do the call me. Let's grow the community stuff. That's the biggest portion of your users. That's them. The ones that are going to be buying the Seasons Pass. The ones that maybe at some point are going to buy cool cosmetics using Power Gems. That's the people we need to cater to. It's your community. No community, no product. Anyway, guys, I don't want to... Whatever, you know what I'm saying, right? That's honestly how I feel. Honestly how I feel, guys. Make sure you come back. I'm going to check the schedule. I am going to do a coffee chat with Colin later after my ride. I got to figure when I'm going to do that. Talk about my schedule coming up. I want to start doing some community rides for my members. Member supporters, basically only. I put it out there to them. They're like, yeah, we like this idea. Yeah, Tim, you just missed it. Tim, great attack at the end. Tim, you went on the solo attack 600 meters out. I wasn't sure. They just caught you at the last second. They just caught you. Again, Tim, you're here now, so thank you again so much for your support of the channel. That's about the only way I can continue to do this full-time, guys, is I need the community to step in and help me out a little bit. Trying to get the powers to be to notice me, and I'm not afraid to say it. Pay attention, dudes. Pay attention. The community is where it's at. You know, I saw people already talking about, how do I buy the Seasons Pass? How do I buy the Seasons Pass? I need to make a video about that, don't I? Okay, riders, I'm going to jump. I got to get on the bike now. Not going to be too crazy today. I'll figure out my schedule. I will be very busy tomorrow. Sunday, I think I got a day off. Oh, no, I don't. Actually, I got to do an event early Saturday, do an event Saturday, do an event, another early event Sunday. So I think Tuesday, I think I'll be back for Flaming Fast Tuesdays. See if I can work that out. What I really need to do is say I'm doing this on this day, and just not detouring from that. Okay, guys, I could ramble forever. You know that already. Thanks for watching. See you all again real soon. Later.